Hello and welcome to another episode of Creators with Kartik, your favorite South Asian creative hub, where each week you join me in getting to know a more personal side of some of the most amazing creative entrepreneurs we have on the channel. Today we speak about Mira, a brand that was conceived in 2018 with an empowering message: you decide who you want to be and let your actions speak for you. More than a fashion label, Mira is a way of life. It is embracing the diversity and the courage to be fearless in the face of adversity. Mira seeks to redefine the ideals of beauty by showcasing the rawness and the authenticity of the modern Indian woman and man. Each piece is designed with the intention to make a bold statement reflecting the brave vision and fiery passion of the brand's founder, Poornima Sharma. She goes by many names, including Poornima. Some think she is also Mira. Well, I call her boss, and today we're going to dive into why. Poornima Sharma, thank you so much for being here. How are you today?
I am very, very well. Thank you. And thank you so much for having me on your beautiful show that now you have started, which is amazing. So
I think
thank you. Honor is mine.
You're most welcome. Every time I believe we've ever started something, we've already started it, around the same period. And every time we always start something, there's just so much hype that we have for the other person. It's like, oh my God, like one of the most favorite creatives I know is like doing something. And I think, this relationship that we have has probably led to the biggest success behind both of our businesses and both of our brands. So, I totally want to, express and reciprocate all of that back to you. And thank you so much. But boss, I want to dive deep into who you are, like what is Mira by Poornima Sharma and how it was essentially established. But why don't you just give a bit of background to our audience and our viewers about what is Mira by Poornima Sharma and how did it really get formed?
For people that don't know me, and already Kartik has given such a beautiful, introduction. God gracious, I don't know how I can match it to up that. I think that was very, very nice. But again, just letting you know that I'm the owner, or you could say I'm the founder of Mira by Poornima Sharma, which is an online clothing brand. Still, people are under the influence thinking it's something to do with only dancing or it's some production that is in making or something. But no, guys and girls, it is actually an online clothing brand, which I am trying to create with every time with a different look, different, point. Now, Mira defines, as I have mentioned, Mira defines the boldness, the rawness, and the authenticity of modern man and woman of today's society. That's what it is, Mira, about. I'm trying to make a bridge between, you could say, the more youngsters to understand the richness, the traditional values of our, the handcrafted fabrics of India and things like that. So I'm trying to create this bridge where we could mix and match and do a lot of things, which is like old-fashioned, traditional, but with the quirkiness of being modern, sexy, and also very bold. So it has to be a bold statement with everything. And Mira defines that. We embrace diversity. Obviously, I love having my muses from different backgrounds. I have never kept in mind that what color they are, what shape they are, or what anything is, it's Mira is just embracing that rawness and that simplicity at the same time, but something unique, something which is very arty. I think that's probably because me being a dancer, I am always trying to create something which is has got that artistic touch to it. So absolutely. Mira is a bold statement for all men and women out there that want to be, exclusive looking, unique looking, and that's what Mira is about.
And I totally appreciate that because, I've seen the establishment from when it began in 2018 and having been part of that journey and on those creative campaigns, which I'll dive further into today's episode, but I can totally appreciate and respect and see the level of inclusivity, you've adopted with a lot of your models that, who come from different diversities, different backgrounds. And I know that, we've had different shapes and sizes and colors and backgrounds, ages, demographics, you name it. And I think one of the reasons why I believe Mira is such a powerful, brand and also a statement is because of these, these factors. I want to talk about these campaigns and go a little bit more into, how does the vision of Poornima Sharma come alive in some of these campaigns? What is it that goes through your creative mind that you think about when it's about, okay, I've got a new campaign, I've got a new potential, launch that I want to hold. What do you think of that leads to the inevitable success of all of your campaigns?
I think more than creative, it's that little quirky mind of mine that just keeps puncturing in my head, saying you've got to do something different this time. So you create another different buzz. I need to have that buzz before I actually pass on that buzz outside. So I need to feel that. So when I'm actually sitting there and designing stuff, or creating a mood board for myself, that what I will be doing. And very well, as soon as something comes to my head, you being one of the photographer who has been covering my campaigns, you hear of it and you see me going from one end to another end, and then suddenly I will say, you know what, I'll get back to you. So the whole vision about it goes off with the mood board and what I really want. And I'm also going with the fact that what is in fashion now, something which is in fashion now, but I want to give a little different Mira, twirl to it a little bit. So, unfortunately, Australia doesn't have any fashion sense, and I'll be very open about this. I struggle with that. Either they become, either if you see, a lot of brands out there, which there are not many brands, but there are good brands out there that are doing very different things, very creative things with their banners and things like that. I always make sure that I am doing something which is very unique to my own ability, the way that it should define me as what I'm trying to create. I don't like to do the copy and paste stuff. I always have done, not even when I was doing my choreographies, I would never actually go with what is the trend happening there. I would go with my own instincts. So that variation always has to be there, whether I'm doing my designing or even creating a campaign. It has to have a different, unique look to it, unique kick to it. And at the same time, I always try to look out for muses, I would say, not the models. There is no models in Sydney. I think everyone thinks they're models, but they're not models. They're all muses. They actually create my vision. So you know how they say imagination creates reality. That's what happens with me when I see my muses, and when I actually see their faces. It doesn't matter what color they are, what size they are, or what background, diversity background they're coming from. For me, is when they actually go into that character, I feel, what, yeah, this one will go with the campaign and with the whole look of it. And this is how the process works. So first mood board designing, then also looking for the muses as to how and which one will actually suit the campaign. The whole vision behind it is, Kartik, I have never wanted my clients or my people that are buying Mira products, it should be them wearing Mira, not Mira wearing them. So it should be actually something that they are naturally, they look naturally in it. Like if it's their taste. Basically, they also have the same taste. So I do a lot of customized stuff for my clients, and that's why it helps me with my own vision too. And I tell them from my own, okay, this is what I'm creating, this is what it is. But I would like to create something that I think will do justice by my, because every brand has got their own supporters and their own clientele and their own way. Who prefers, what, they want to look more arty, okay, go to Mira. They want to look more different, then they go to another brand. So every brand has got its own uniqueness to it. And that's how I go with it, is basically it's just a vision that I get, and a concept that I keep for each campaign of mine. And that's how I go with it.
Yeah, no, I totally appreciate that. I've seen, and something that I often say to you all the time, off camera, is that I've been photographing for a couple of years, but in that time I've also seen a large adoption of different clothing lines and different clothing brands. Some who unfortunately may not have standed the test of time, and some of them do sometimes drop off. What do you think is something that has really helped you to consistently show up, to consistently create amazing content. Like, one of the things I admire about you, boss, is the fact that whenever I look at your campaigns and the brands, be it I'm a part of it or not, especially, because we've also got a really talented, photographer from India, is I think to myself, my God, like this woman just keeps going. Right. And I think one of the biggest differences I've seen with, your line versus a lot of other different brands is that level of consistency. Like, what do you think is something that you're doing to consistently just have that same level of high quality output across each of your brand in terms of all of your launches, all of your products? What's something that you feel like you do time in, time out again that helps you to stand through the test of time?
The biggest thing in all of this is discipline. I feel discipline has worked so much better with me. As a dancer, I think, or as a student, my father used to always say, if you want to be noticed, first of all, people have very less concentration level. Now, if you want to keep them focused on you, you need to keep giving them variation styles, variation in your portraying styles. That's what he was saying. And that's what he used to say with my dancing. So he made me learn a lot of different, basic type of classical dancing. Do this, do that, do this, do that. So for that, that has actually, it's gone in there like a little, I don't know, like a disc thing or something in my head, where I just feel I need to keep creating something different all the time. And I don't do this, I'll be honest with you, Kartik. I don't do this for you. I don't do this for anyone in India, or I don't do this for anyone actually. I actually am taking my buzz out. It gives me buzz. I need to do something and create something for myself, because I feel if I do keep on going, because this is my passion, I'll be honest with you. It's my passion to keep creating something different, something unique. And for me is that I need to be different every time. I can't be just the same, doing the same thing. Yeah, the only same thing that you probably would see in all the Mira campaigns would be maybe a bindi that will, compare it. Okay, she's wearing a. Sometimes I'll have them wearing hardly anything. They'll be wearing, the whole skin will be showing, the belly will be showing.
I love it.
And then you have sometimes you'll have it covered till their necks and everything, with the whole jewelries and everything. So every time you need to create something different, the buzz has to be there. Oh, what is she going to take out this time? So that buzz, if you don't have it within you, how will you actually then create it for your own content? So that is very important. Consistency with the passion, that goes long way. So that's what I keep doing it. And I think I'm doing it more for myself than for anyone. I think that's what it is.
Well, yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like if you're doing it for anybody other than yourself, you may be doing it for the wrong reasons, right? Like, I think too often or not, people get really consumed with social media. And, and I created a recent YouTube video about this only today. It was sort of talking about how in today's generation, we're so swamped with, oh, that person's doing something amazing. Right? Oh my God, like I got, this many followers or likes, right? And maybe they look for validation and they look for different reasons that fuel this motive, right? When inherently I feel like some of the most successful businesses, the ones that I've had the pleasure of working with, are doing something not for this level of recognition. They're not doing it for this sense of, like, my engagement went from here to here. They're doing it because there's this level of fulfillment, a sense of purpose and a sense of drive that they receive that's beyond, a metric on Instagram, that's beyond how many posts and likes and followers they receive. And I think a lot of people, when they first start out, they think of the end goal, right? They think of where they want to be in 5, 6 years, 7 times, right? And initially it just takes away from that initial focus, right? That reason as to why they got into it. I want to sort of dive into a little bit more about the challenges around Mira and how it was formed. What do you think were some of the challenges that you went through personally as an entrepreneur starting this journey? Like, what was something that you could share with our audience that you perhaps experienced?
The biggest challenge for me was I'm not a very technical type of person. So for me, I had to, I think, prove myself first that I'll be able to handle an online store. It means creating everything online based, where there is no store, there is no actual store there. There is no, physical store there. It has to be done everything online. Now, if I am struggling at my I still think age is just a number, but anyway. So if
Absolutely.
I am
Absolutely.
struggling with that, I needed to be confident because I remember, see, my sons, both of them, they keep me very, very grounded. So they'll be very
Amazing.
like, I don't need anyone from outside to, puncture my whole tire around. So it'll be only my boys who will keep me. So they said,
I love it.
before you even start thinking of doing all this online stuff and everything, do you know anything about it? Like you need to learn
Mm,
first in order to then educate yourself first, then you'll be able to educate the people. Now, online stores only works if you are too much, like your programs, how you're going to do things, how
yeah.
to do. I still struggle with it, I'll be honest with you, but the fact is that that was one of the biggest challenge that I had for myself, was to learn how to create things and how to put products into taking photographs, like the whole mission. It's a whole
It's
mission,
a
to be
process. Absolutely.
honest. It's
Yeah.
a
Absolutely.
process.
Such
and
a process.
and it's not only like you're going for rehearsals, whether you're wearing a trackies or you just do your rehearsals, and then when the show comes, you wear your costumes and you do the show. This is
Mm,
actually, you need to first design and create a product, and then after that doing a whole, putting a concept together to do the photo shoot and the campaign. After campaign, then you need to do another shoot where you're going to be putting things in the the online store, and how
yeah.
you're going to be doing it in a different sections and things. Then you need to write a write-up, and I was draining out, and this was like a biggest challenge for me, which over the time I have started to love, because
Yeah.
if you love something, you will be passionate about it and you will do it, and it won't look like a task. It will be a very natural process.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was one thing that I struggled with. And then again, not having a physical store.
Mm,
People of my age group, so even older, they don't know and don't want to know online webs, things like that. So for them was always the second question is, do you have a store and do you have this? So that's one challenge that I have to, and I used to do a lot of pop-ups and things. That's the reason why carrying 100 clothes, garments, and from one end to another end,
yeah.
just to
Yeah.
show
Yeah. Yeah.
people the quality of the fabrics, the quality,
Yeah.
because people want to touch, they want to feel the fabric, they want to see the
Mm,
quality of fabric.
mm,
Suddenly, Poornima Sharma, from a stage dance thing, she's now started doing her own clothing brand. God knows what she's selling and what it is. So it was, every step of the way is a challenge when you're starting
absolutely.
something.
Absolutely.
And this is a process that either you will love and become addicted to it, or you will just say, you know what, F it up, I can't do it, can't handle it.
Mm,
Simple as that.
yeah. Yeah.
So these online things, doing technical stuff, doing websites, doing this, doing that on ongoing basis, even till today, is a challenge. But that
Mm,
challenge, when you have challenge, then that keeps you motivated, right?
absolutely.
Because when you don't
Absolutely.
have challenges in life, I think life becomes boring. And
Mm.
Poornima Sharma and boring doesn't go together. I'm sorry, I get bored very easily.
I
So I
love
need to
it.
have
No,
challenges in life. So
I
that's
love it.
how
I
I
love
do
it.
it.
No, that's incredible. And I think one of the things about challenges, it's that, people sometimes they might predict these challenges before they even start, right? I remember when I first picked up a camera, right? A big challenge was I didn't even know how to use it, right? Now, had I, listened to that and gone, I shouldn't really do this, I'm just going to quit, it would have perhaps been the worst decision I would have made in my entire life. And, I really encourage someone to, think about what these challenges are, but don't just give up because things seem too hard. Right? There's so many people that we know within this creative space who are absolutely killing it in the game. And they're doing it because despite all these barriers, despite all these challenges, they're willing to overcome them, work towards their goals, their passions, their aspirations, and really prove that they've got something to show, right? Whether you're a premium clothing brand, whether you're a photographer, if you're a dancer, if you're a painter or a writer or a musician, whatever it may be on that, creative or even non-creative outlook, there are always going to be challenges. So I totally appreciate that. I want to go into specifically with the campaigns a little bit more and touch on the power of having a team. I think one of the strongest things I've seen within Mira by Poornima Sharma is your ability to bring together people. Right. And we're not even talking just about vendors. We're talking about people on the day who just want to be part of the experience because it's so wonderful to help. How important has been the power of teamwork and working with other people within the growth of Mira?
I have always believed in one thing is not one thing, it'll be two things. One is gratitude. Without
Absolutely.
gratitude in life, you can never go forward. And second
Absolutely.
thing is teamwork. Now,
Mm.
if someone says, Poornima alone is the one that is behind the whole Mira success, that's bullshit. I don't think so. I
Mm.
feel every person that has contributed to Mira campaigns, Mira branding, whether it is stitching a little button to maybe doing little alterations, or there are people that never even their names, I don't even say it on the social media, because reason being is there's so many people behind things doing, but the fact is that they know that gratitude is there. Now for me, um my team means the world to me. And I think you also know very well that when I have a whole team together, for me is very, very much like everything has to be organized.
Mm.
So a week beforehand, you all will get your run sheets. You will get to know exactly who will be
Yeah.
doing what
Yeah.
and what will
Yeah.
be done. Now, all of this is again a discipline that I have learned through my dancing shows or from my father. And I'm very good with that, I think, because I feel that it is important, because the other person should know that if Kartik Sharma needs to be on the location by 7 o'clock, and if I'm not going to tell him that beforehand, don't take anyone for granted that people will just rock up on the day. You need to be,
Mm.
because it's your project. It
Absolutely.
doesn't mean you're telling someone. It's just the fact that you want things to go seamlessly and you want it to go in timely order manner.
Mm.
So,
Mm. Mm.
whether it is me making sure that I don't sleep the whole 24 hours, which is very true, that the whole week before my campaigns, I don't sleep.
It's for anyone joining in and listening to this. I don't know how Purnima does it. She is an absolute tank. Like on the day of the actual shoot, I don't even think she even knows what sleep means. She's constantly running around, and as much as preparation happens on the actual day, there is just so much going on in this woman's brain that I can't even fathom. So to see an insight into that is just incredible. But I think it's testament to what actually happens on the day, right? We come together on this amazing campaign and we create some amazing content, and it's beautiful, and the models have the muses have a great time. All us creatives come together, we're like, oh my god, like we produced great content. So I totally get that. It is definitely a manic day, absolutely
Everyone
manic.
contributes. Everyone contributes, like,
Mm.
and whether it will be my makeup artists that have worked throughout this whole Mira campaigns that I have
Yeah.
been doing. Even they know that, my God, bloody hell, when this woman contacts us, that means we are not going to be sleeping. So 12 a.m. We have to
Yeah,
be at her
no.
place or somewhere, and we're
Yeah,
going to start
yeah.
working. Um, Even the muses, they know very well that yes, because everyone sees the glamour end part of it. They don't understand the whole hustle behind the whole campaign or
Yeah,
behind the
yeah,
whole thing. They don't
yeah, yeah,
understand.
yeah.
They know
Mm.
that if they're all dressed up and they see suddenly a beautiful girl standing in the, on beautiful rock behind, all these stones and this and that, they don't know how much cold it was when we had
Mm.
put her without any clothes out there, and what time that girl was getting ready and this and that. So everyone doesn't know the hustle behind things. They only see the end picture of things.
Mm. Mm.
So and I'm again gratitude to all my team people that have worked with this with me. I know I'm very hard to deal with, but you guys get
Like we're
addicted to me
it's
too, right?
And honestly, it's such an interesting process, right? Because there'll be great photos that we've taken out that have been on my Instagram and yours as well. And I remember there's so many shots that we've had, even in the apartment that we've shot at, and I'm just thinking, I'm like, some of the best shots we've had. We've gone in and we've just had a conversation with the models and the muses. And by the way, we're not afraid to get like hands on. We really get into there. Like we're
Oh
going
yeah,
in,
we
we're
do.
adjusting things, we're going crazy, right? But it leads to some of the most amazing content. And I think it's that willingness to just be, you know what, we're already like, guns blazing in this. Let's just go all out, and let's go even further than what we've even imagined. You know, the preparation actually does one thing, and I think on the other day it's literally the execution that comes down to it. You know, we have music. Some might say alcohol's a great influence as well, but hey, you know, that's just you know, one opinion. Yeah, and then everyone just has a great time expressing creativity, right? It's just that interest that we all have to come together and work on an amazing project as a team. And I think by far, you know, through God's grace and, you know, all of our creative minds combined, it's created some amazing projects with great stunning content. So I love that. I want to talk about another challenge at the moment that we're currently facing here in Sydney, Australia. And, you know, if you're listening to this from across the world, I think the pandemic, we're no stranger to. It's impacted us a lot, from, you know, an economic standpoint, from a personal standpoint, from, you know, a relationship standpoint. Like, people are struggling in this aspect. I want to talk about relevancy within this period. How do you maintain some level of relevancy when everyone is like literally going, okay, cool, it's COVID, I'm not going to really do anything, and then just going to, you know, sit back, put their feet up, and then just wait for, you know, this entire period to end? What do you do to stay relevant with Mira? How do you maintain that level of relevancy?
Okay, so when someone gets bored and when they are obviously in that mode where they think, oh my God, life is just nothing, all you're doing is sitting at home.
Yeah.
They just pick up their phones, and normally they're on social media trying to see what's happening in other people's life, or what's happening in other people's relationship, or maybe what's the fashion like, or whatever. Now that says a lot. That means you need to make sure that you need to be always on their faces with stuff that you're producing or you're talking about. And I use this time, I think, the best time, where I know I can't do any campaigns, I can't do, but what I have done is, and which I have always kept for my rainy days, is I don't post all my photos at once when I'm doing my campaigns. So
Okay.
I keep a lot of photos that are there. And then I sometimes also do a lot of write-ups. I love writing. Sometimes people don't read, or they'd read, I don't know, but I love writing. So I normally, what I do is I educate them that during this time that we are all struggling, we don't know if our you know, events are going to be taking place, or whether they're going to get cancelled or whatever. To be positive, I think you just need to be positive, and you need to be creative. If creative with your time doesn't mean that you are doing campaigns, or you're doing stitching, or you're doing this. Just be creative within yourself. Give yourself a little bit of, you know, a push, where you know that it's not going to be always like this. We just have to see the brighter side of things, you know. And universe has its own way of doing things, an own way of process. So I believe in that. And for me, I need to keep myself creatively very, very much on the top of it. Nothing slows me down. I might be just hanging around the house with my trackies on instead of wearing a sari, or maybe just I don't often do that anyway. But I mean, I would suggest that I have kept myself motivated. I look forward to my days off. Now, biggest challenge for me also has been that I work full time in administration medical. So that means I'm not doing Mira full time. For me, Mira is not a full time thing. So for me, I need to make sure the time that I have got when I'm at home, I need to create content. I need to create things that are relevant to my viewers, or to my my followers, or my supporters, to tell them and educate them about fabrics, or educate them about what can be worn on what occasion, or what will go with what. As you know, for Mira, I do the styling part of it too. So I just feel that there are so many aspects of a brand, or aspects of a fashion label, where you can touch and you can educate people, because that's the whole forum, right? The online whole forum that we all use is to educate people. As a dancer, as a teacher, that's what I did with my dancing. And I feel there is so much now. And again, comes to technology. I know I'm not very good with technology, but I know that at least when I'm creating this content, I know how to upload these things for people to view it, people to see it. And this is what I have been doing throughout. On a funny note, I have actually got this mannequins that I bought. So these mannequins, basically, I bought from a very nice mannequin store, and it's a guy and a girl. So, and then sometimes I will make the guy wear something and it won't fit because I have made it a little bit skinny time. So I will say,
Yeah.
oh God, your hair, you've gained weight. It's all COVID lockdown weight gain. That's what it is. And I start talking to these mannequins, and my son often says, "Oh God, she's losing it. She I think
She's
she's
lost the
lost it,
plot, like
or
something's
she's
going
lost the
down.
plot.
Yeah,
Something
she's
is
lost
really
it.
wrong." So then I say, at least these are the things that keeps me motivated of doing
Yeah.
something or the other with dressing up mannequins in different styles and showing that what, you can dress up the same outfit in 2 3 different ways. So it is very relevant to people that have actually view it and actually see it. And I'm just trying whatever I can do, whatever I am. I just like to obviously share my knowledge, whatever I have. There is a lot of knowledge there, mind you, but I like to share it what I can share. But that's what it is.
I love it. I love it. What do you think if you were just starting out as an entrepreneur, and we might have a few other listeners who are tuning into this, maybe watching the video or even listening via podcast, what is something that you could tell them that you wish you had known when you first started your clothing line, the journey of Mira, in terms of, for all what it was at the very beginning, what's something that you wish you had known as a piece of information around the establishment, to know that these are my challenges, but I know how to now come around them? Like, what's something that you wish you could have told yourself prior to that beginning?
I think, which I still struggle. I love the whole creative aspects of it, but I don't like the account or the whole management of
So the
how the
technicals
funding and all of that
okay, the
stuff,
nitty
and the
gritty stuff.
technical,
Yeah.
the nitty gritty stuff. I always, and that's my weakest point. And I wish I would have made that more stronger than my, creative part will always be there naturally. But I think learning something like just simple as an Excel sheet, which I have now learned, by the way. So yeah. And
Proud of you,
anyway,
well done.
and so learning all these things are very important for any startup person. Like, you got to keep an eye out and also a head out to know that how much expenses are related with these kind of businesses. And plus, with COVID, you're not able to do pop-ups, you're not able to sell as much as you want to, or the events are not happening for people to buy more or whatever. Then you need to keep that in mind, that okay, if I have this much of stock, what am I going to be doing then with my other stock, and how am I going to be keeping this stock, or where am I going to keep this stock, and then how much is costing me just sitting there, and things like that. So these are the little things that I try not to think about it, but I have to think about it, because it is something that I keep telling myself, but I would love for other people to also know that it's very important part. I mean,
the supply chain management of clothing vendors and brands is perhaps one of the most difficult aspects around running a clothing line. I would imagine it's not easy, and I think everyone gets in that rush, right? It's like, I can't wait to just create content and create really good stuff, and you're a tank at that, you dominate at that, but it's always the nitty gritty parts that no one really likes, right? It's like, okay, now shit, we've got to talk about logistics. Oh wait, we're going to talk about like stock allocation. Now we're going to talk about like Excel and spreadsheets. Okay, well, what are my margins like, right? And then
returns, God gracious. It kills me when I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, campaign, I did not sleep for 1 week, and I was still on adrenaline rush, and now I only sit for half an hour with the numbers, and I'm feeling sleepy, and I want to eat chocolate, and I just don't want to do that. And that's a challenge, but
I know.
learn, right?
I know. It's always the things that we hate doing that just automatically we have to start learning about, right? These things just come with running a business, right? There's always parts of a business where you like and you really love, and I think we both relate to content creating. We absolutely love that part. But then there's all these other things that you and I probably don't like. It's just, the Excel, the numbers, and I know people who are really good at that. I know people who love those things, and kudos to them. But it is what it is. What are some social media strategies or tips or anything on the marketing related side of Instagram? Because I know, a large part of, our successes also come through that you could tell someone as advice that might help them out if they're just, starting out their own business.
I think the biggest thing that a person, when they're starting up, they need to have confidence in their own products first. I think having confidence in what you're about to start off as a business, whether it is a small painting shop or if it is a small clothing shop or anything, if you're not confident in your within yourself, how will you sell that product to someone else?
Yeah.
I feel it is very, very important for a person to do a full research on that, what you're going to be doing and what you will be creating. Will it be any significance to the crowd that is there? Will it be significance to your money that you've got in your bank and you've allocated? Will this work? Will this, you've got to do all these pros and cons before you start any business. I remember that I was given a deadline. So when I started the process in my head, I said, okay, let's do the clothing thing. Okay, it's easy. You can go get clothes done and that's it. It's all good, right? So what I did, I made 10 garments, only 10 garments in my size. I said, tomorrow, if it doesn't work, I've got a new wardrobe. Okay. So then my kids who were my gurus, they said, okay, so how much did each piece cost? That means that little, from that little dupatta stuff that you bought from the time that it has done, how much shipping, this. I said, oh my God, you're asking me so many questions. I didn't wanted to do all this. All I want to do is just, the fun of part of it, create and campaigns and, this and that. This is mom. This is not how it works. You need to sit there and do all the boring stuff first. Understand the boring stuff first. Absolutely. And then only you will be able to do what you do, right? And unless you are multimillionaires, that you'll have everyone doing their own side of things and you got the funds and you can just do whatever you want, then it's a different whole story. Otherwise, it's a long road of hustle, but again, if it's done by passion and by determination and also dedication, I think it is very, very important for those people to sit there and do all of that homework first before even starting anything.
I love it. I love it. So really just understand, why it is you're doing what you're doing and believe in your product and your service or whatever it is that you're trying to establish, right? I feel like there's so many people who maybe create something for the sake of just being called an entrepreneur, right? I think the title really excites people. It's like, oh, I have a business, right? And they themselves might not fully really believe in what they're actually doing, right? And I think it loses that credibility, it loses that wow factor, it really loses that edge, right? And people might not even believe it. So then how can they expect other people to believe it?
Right? Exactly. So you need to believe in your own product and in yourself and what you're doing. Then only you'll be able to sell that and you'll be able to conquer your own, So conquer your fears first and get knowledge about exactly what you want to do and what you're doing. And that's very important.
So thank you so much. You've been absolutely wonderful, boss. I really appreciate all of your insight. It's amazing to finally dive deep into the woman behind the brand and also, a friend, someone that I really confide in. So thank you so much. I just need to know, where do you see Mira by Poornima Sharma in the next, 2 to 3 years?
I'm blessed. I've just want that to obviously expand more, is that luckily Mira has gone globally now a little bit. Like I have got clients that are ordering from America and then UK and then Dubai and India even, up to an extent. So I would love to see it more globally out there and I want Mira to be a name that always comes to a person's head, when they're thinking of wearing something authentic, traditional, quirky, and sexy, bold statement. Mira should also come to their head, as one of the brands, and online brand, basically. That's something that I really see the vision with. There's another vision that I see is I would love to do this full time. Until I would love to do this full time because the adrenaline rush that I get is I can't match it with anything. Absolutely. To be honest. And you know what I tell you, right? After a campaign, that how we feel. So yeah, that's how it is, right?
We definitely know. Yeah, I love it. No, I love it. Thank you so much. No, it's such a wonderful, story from my end to be part of. You know, I've seen this been established from 2018, and I just started at the same time as you, so I was like, oh, like this would be really cool. And then inevitably our goals, our passions, our interests just aligned, and I think we were able to come together so beautifully well. And you know, again, through God's grace, hopefully there'll be many projects to come in the future where we can work on this together and create, you know, some more viral content and both take more international platforms. So thank you so much. You've been an absolute wonderful guest on this channel. I'm now gonna go into rapid fire round. It's just something absolutely creative and haven't been heard of before. So these questions are just going to be questions that I just want to get a quick, you know, one word or one sentence answer into your insight. Obviously, there's no prep around it, so you don't even know what they are. But are you ready, Poornima Sharma, for your rapid fire round?
Yeah, bring it on.
Love the enthusiasm. All right, question number 1. What's your favorite way of getting some downtime amongst being an entrepreneur and also running a full-time job?
Go on a dating app.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for that transparency. That was brilliant. Question number 2. Who's been your biggest motivating support throughout your success till date?
My sons.
Shout out to the boys, Rob and Deeps. I'm pretty sure you're listening to this at some point. So, yeah, the boys. Question number 3. What's your favorite book or your favorite quote?
My favorite book is The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. It taught me a lot. I love that book. It was presented by one of my very good friends, and I'm so blessed that I got to read that book.
Question number 4. What's something unique about Mira that you haven't seen in many other clothing lines before?
Poornima Sharma.
That's like a mic drop moment right there, so I can just appreciate that answer. Thank you, boss. That was brilliant. All right, awesome. Question number 5. If you could be mentored by anyone in the world, who would it be?
I think if I would be mentored in artistically or even in, I don't know whether fashion sense or what, but at least in artistic way, and that opens up a lot of things, is Rabindranath Tagore. When I actually see some of the movies that are depicted on his storylines or what he has been doing and things like that, I felt that time, if I was there and if I would have been mentored by him, I think I would have become a more killer in killing the whole, you know, arty type of stuff. It's very, very something that I always wonder about it.
Yeah, I love it. Awesome, brilliant. Thank you. Question number 6. What's your top 3 favorite apps on your smartphone, excluding calling and texting?
Excluding calling or texting, the 3 best apps, right? Yeah. So one is okay.
I love it.
Okay, so this is going to be viewed by kids, right? Yeah. So I can't
sure.
say something. Yeah. So I think one is obviously the WhatsApp. That wouldn't be counted back.
I mean, that's kind of texting, so let's try and avoid the standard like calls and text. Yeah.
Pinterest. I love my Pinterest. I can't go without my Pinterest.
Yeah.
The other one is this is this new app. I'm trying to even get hold the name of it. It actually creates a lot of stories and stuff for your social media. And I'm trying to learn
a social
how
media
to do it.
app or something
It's
like
a social media app thing, right?
Yep.
And few other apps that I can't say on the.
We can discuss that privately later.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I love it.
And your final question, what are 3 things, doesn't have to be technology related, that you can't live without?
First and foremost is my family. Can't live without them. Can't live without Mira.
Yeah.
And
one more.
And can't live without my sanity and myself. So me also comes in that very important facet of it.
I love it.
So
simple.
If I think the greatest love of all is to love yourself first, and then only you'll be able to love and create what you want to share with people. So family has always been my rock, and there always will be. And my parents, my kids, I consider you also my family. Can't live without you. And so basically all of you guys. Mira is more my creativity and the people that are associated with it, whether it's muses, whether it's my production team or anyone that comes with it. And the third is me. I have always put myself last, but it is still one of the first now three things that I actually put myself to. So that's important to me. Very, very important.
Beautiful, beautiful answer, and a beautiful way to end up this podcast. So thank you so much, boss. You've been amazing. I can't wait. I couldn't, like, when I was planning this episode, I was like, I have to talk to you, because I know every time, and this conversation has been very filtered, by the way. Like, as much as I'd love to have let's just talk shit. Like, I understand that there's an element that we want to be proper about. That's good. Not saying that we can't show our authentic selves. So I totally appreciate this. Thank you so much.
People know me, Kartik. They know how authentic I am and how real I am and what I feel, and I'll just say it. And so my tribes understand exactly what
100%. I think anyone who has the privilege of being in the same room with Poornima Sharma, they'll exactly know what we're talking about right now, and it is very different at the moment. But that's a story for another day. Boss, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for being on the show. You've been absolutely wonderful. Guys who are listening to this on YouTube, if you guys love this podcast, please hit that like button, comment down below, let us know what was your favorite part, and press that subscribe button if you haven't already. And anyone listening to the podcast via iTunes, make sure you rate it 5 stars, subscribe, and also comment, let us know what was your favorite part. And I will see you guys in the very next episode. Thank you so much. Peace.